I guarantee you an 80% overwhelming majority of what alliance that's coming from.
But I just want to understand what the animosity is towards, because like what I've heard is that there's like beef, your personal beef with their group.
So what happened was when we started playing, we chose Cherno, right? Because we wanted to play casually, right? Like just straight up, we didn't want these hardcore rules and stuff like that. Like our guild was like semi-casual, semi-hardcore, like whatever you want to call it, right? We were not hardcore on Cherno, right? And then what happened is Rent-Free came in because they specifically targeted us and wanted to farm us. Because John, he was in one of the he played KR with us, right? Right, and he's one of the advisors in Rent-Free. And then, so what happened was once Ethereum came into our server, they immediately moved to Amos, right? And we said, well, Amos was going to be our first choice, right? Just straight up, we were going to move to Amos. And we're gonna play on Amos, and we just wanted to keep it light and fun, right? Because we didn't want to go super sweaty, super hardcore. We didn't want to kick our friends. We wanted to have a good experience with our community, playing with Canon, playing with our friends, right? And what happened there was like, so we were like, okay, we're not going Amos, right? It's the last day of transfers. Let's go to Zeroth, right? Because we're like, like. I hear Zeroth has some huge alliances, right? Because at the time you guys had Codex and you had Fable, which were both huge alliances. And we brought 4 guilds, right? 4 guilds, only 4 guilds. Like, yes, you might say that like, oh, we have Nerdage and Bedge, right? Bedage. Like,
no, they're relevant. They're community guilds.
They're 100%
Let me interrupt. Sorry, a second. Let me interrupt. But like the biggest consensus and the biggest shit that we heard was like this like narrative of Tank just has this fucking 8 guild alliance. First of all, Bedge and Nerge maybe brought fucking 5 people that, and I'm sorry for my words, that you could breathe on and they'd probably just fall over. So yeah, on paper 6 guilds, but realistically it's a 4-on-4 and kind of has it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't consider that. Like when we talked about it, I've seen them fight. Like, no, trust me, I'm on you with that. But my main thing is like I've been on Zeroth earlier than both of you guys. And I saw Rent-Free joined up as far as I remember, I can look up some video clips that they joined up before the streamers transferred in.
Yeah, can we move the
They might have been on here initially, but when we were looking for servers to transfer to,
Rent-Free, Magnus, can you guys move Karth and Magnus?
Can I speak? Can I speak really quick?
Yeah, you can, but can you move the general VC people up to this channel? That's important.
No. It's only the people that are here that are within the top lines. Who are the other people you want to be in?
Well, I want Magnus in here because he's part of Rebellion.
But he's also a part of Nisa. He's in the Rent.
He's not. No, he's not. Magnus is not in Nisa.
Magnus is still Rebellion. Fairy went over to Nisa.
Yeah. I'd like him in this call.
They're good, trust.
So at the end of the day,
Magnus
like
Karth?
Yeah.
Karth as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, I mean, I can like Lukek even messaged me. I don't know if this is, so I'm kind of like zoning out, but if you were asking if Rent-Free was already in the server on our server, they were not, because like Lukek even actually messaged me later and said, hey, I want you to know we didn't transfer into the server to hunt you guys. Please, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they were already in there, that would have been a different DM.
Yeah,
like,
I
literally.
Saga, sorry to interrupt you. So when I was, I just happened to, I think, first join Codex, or maybe we're still in the Apes. Everyone transferred in at once. Maybe not at the same exact time, but it was during that that hour. And actually, we were in Codex when this happened, and so it wasn't that 9 to 5 transferred in first, and it was transferred in first. They transferred at the same exact time. So I don't know where the I transferred in first idea came from, but they transferred in the exact same time.
So I'm telling what happened on Chernobyl was literally Lukek transferred off when Ethereum transferred in to play on Amos. We saw this, we saw them on Amos, and we were like, you know what? We want to play with our casual community guilds. We want to have a good time. We would just want to play the game. We don't want to go super sweaty, and we want to make good content for the siege. That was the whole thing. Because like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I fucking love this game and I don't want it to die. And I think Canon loves this game, doesn't want it to die. And like, you know, if we make it look fun on Canon, Shrouds, and everyone's streams, right? Rather than just like this hardcore sweaty like fucking garbage that it's become, then you know people are gonna have fun and they're gonna want to play the game, right? So we saw Zeroth, we saw like I talked to Nova, like I found out like what the alliances were. I talked to a few other people. I found out like what was going on Zeroth, and I was like, Fable has 6 guilds, Codex has like 4 guilds or whatever. They have alliances here. Let's go in, let's bring our 4 guilds in, only 4 guilds, and let's you know join this and like let's have fun with it, right? Like you know, if they want to fight against us, that's fine. We're not going to do this. And then we transferred in, and then that we transferred in with literally hours remaining on the transfer. It was like 2 hours remaining, right? And then the other guilds came in. 9 to 5 didn't come in. If maybe 9 to 5 came in earlier or around the same time
hold,
as us.
hold on. Let me just hold on. This is
I'm probably gonna drop. I gotta reset my Wi-Fi.
Hold on. This is okay. So this is what really happened. Okay, because like you have to, guys, you have to understand. There's always going to be biased perspectives to this, right? So like take this how you will. What I can confirm for sure is we were on the server before Rent-Free was. Rent-Free was not on the server when we transferred in, and then shortly after Rent-Free and their guilds came in. Also, at the same time, Lukek messaged me, and I quote, this is literally what he sent me. He sent me this. He says, "Hey man, I just want to clear something up before it gets out of hand. We did not come to Zeroth to specifically deny you the castle or whatever. We decided on Zeroth on Monday with a pit stop in Amos to do guild raids in our level 20 guild. I had no information before Wednesday that you guys were going to the same server. Last I heard before then was you guys are going to Carnix. Not that it matters though. I think the server would have been a watch if either of us didn't make it here, but I wanted to reach out and be clear to clear it out before stuff like this festers. I know a couple of my guys have been yapping too, so I'm working on getting that addressed." That's what he sent me. So I can tell, like, honestly, like, whether you believe him or not, that was whatever. But he's saying that they didn't come to target us. I honestly think it's good they came. Our server would be dead if they didn't. And but they definitely came in after us. That's why Lukek messaged me saying that.
But this is why I like having these conversations, because I hate he said, she said bullshit. I want to hear both sides of the story.
Yeah, but like I don't like. Yeah, so like for the thing is though, right? Like why does any of this matter though? Like even if they are toxic, right? It's like it's good that there's 2 main alliances that are fighting for the castle, right? Doesn't this just come down to what you guys want to do as a third alliance? Like, because like bro, I mean, you guys, come on, you guys, a bunch of you guys have been here in Siege before. It absolutely is to our alliance's advantage if we have a 3-way fight. Let's be fucking real. Like that's just the way the game goes. And honestly, from our side's perspective, like, you know, we worked really hard to be in that advantageous position, right? So it's like any discussion outside of like any discussion that teams any alliance together is just going to be to our side's detriment, right? Like we definitely would rather have like a 1v1v1, but the reality is I think the people on our side, again, I can't speak on behalf of the leadership here because I am not in leadership, but I think the general consensus with our side is this really gonna be a 1v1? Because the whole trust factor, like Saiga thinks that they chased us. You know, a lot of people in our guild thinks that they did have a soft alliance, whatever that may be, right? Like at the end of the day, you know, having like having 2 alliances team up to get inside the walls, it's just a disadvantage. That's like our side is always going to see that as unfair, right? They're going to see that as a breaking of the 4 guild alliance thing. So then the counter to that would be like, okay, well, we should get more numbers too. And it's just like this ongoing, you know, fucking it's fucking thrown. You know what I mean? It's fucking thrown. So it's like I don't even know what I'm doing in here, but I feel like it's just, I guess it's gonna be up to you guys whether you guys want to actually keep this thing a 1v1v1 where you're actually fighting them and contesting them outside of the walls and also contesting us, or team up with whichever side. I mean, I guess it's up to you. I have no idea what the numbers situation looks like.
The main reason I brought you in here is because I just wanted your perspective so it can be genuine, because I don't want it to, like, I don't want you to speak for Soviet, and I don't want Soviet to speak for you. I don't want Saiga to speak for someone else. You get what I'm trying to say? So like,
yeah,
I know you're
okay.
not. that
Yeah, yeah.
leadership, it just that way it kind of holds you to an accountable level to a certain degree. That's all.
Yeah, okay, so if you want my perspective, this isn't reflective of my alliance. I can't speak on behalf of my alliance. This is me personally. My personal perspective is very simple. We worked our asses off to get rank 1 and to have the advantage for this, right? I think it should be a 1v1v1, but a real 1v1v1. But I also don't trust entirely that it will be a 1v1v1 because like what's to stop Renfrey to talk to you guys to be like, hey, why don't we like team up together to get inside the walls and you guys can pillage the castle and we push, that way it's, whatever, like, and then you guys fight each other, we whatever, like there's nothing stopping that from actually happening. And no matter what anyone says on any side, no one can trust anyone. This is how this game goes. It's literally Game of Thrones right now, right? That's why I don't want to be in this situation. So like my perspective is that in a perfect world, it would be way better for us to actually have a 1v1v1 where everyone is actually fighting each other with no actual alliances, or or a deal like or a deal is struck in a way where the numbers are even, whether that's like 4+2 versus 4+2 or whatever that is. No one wants to be on the short end of the stick. No one wants to fight 4v8. And that, you know what I mean? Like if you're asking me, would I rather fight 8v4 over 4v8? Yeah, I would. I'd rather fight 8v4 than fight 4v8. Like I think everyone in here would rather do that. That's just the reality. Like having 2x the numbers is not overcomable. It's not possible to overcome that. It's just not. That's just not the way this game is designed. Never in the history of Throne and Liberty has an alliance of twice the size of the other alliance won. It doesn't even matter if it's Ethereum at that point. It just doesn't happen. So that's my personal take, man.
Can you drag up Polaris in here too? He's at General VC.
Yeah, Polaris is the fucking goat. No, but 100% I agree with that. Because you're right. Like everyone's kind of shady, and then you can kind of know just how people are based off their history. Like you said, you played Arcade with each other, so at a certain point, you kind of get to see the kind of reputation people have had. Like I know for a fact, Lukic, if he were to offer me something like that, I don't think I could do something like shady. That's why I wanted to make sure I got both sides of the story. For example,
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'll speak my mind on this situation based off the stuff that like, and I know we had this discussion yesterday, Guitarist. I just want everyone else to hear it. Based on the shit that I've seen as a leader, as a GM, like I get the banter and I get the shit talk. I think it's just part of the game. I got thick skin. It doesn't bother me. But you mentioned earlier, or someone mentioned that he said like, or I think it was Cannon that said like, I see the toxicity, I see that stuff, and I'll try to like reach out to kind of to peel my guys back. I haven't seen any of that shit from him. There hasn't been a reach out. There hasn't been a reach out from him. Like I'm okay. He can call me and say, yo, like what's going on between our guilds? Like, there's a lot of shit talk. Do we kind of like bring it down a little bit? And it's just constant. Like it's constant from their end. I don't trust those guys. I'm sorry to say. You guys can all hear it. I'm openly going to say that to everybody in this channel. I don't, and that's just, I don't think it's going to change. I haven't had one reach out from the dude. And as a leader of the Alliance, right, he sees all this shit from Nisa, from the other guys, and it's just constant. I tell my guys all the time, GG's only, win or lose. Doesn't matter, like stop the shit talk. I peel my guys back to keep this kind of, the spirit of the game kind of alive. I don't see that from the other end. I'm not going to trust them. That's just what it is.
I mean, even their own members are leaving their guild because they don't even keep it reined in on their own guild, right? Like,
you know what I mean? So I get that, like, you guys have had conversations with Luke and maybe the other leaders of the Alliance, and they've told you stuff, or they've said, hey, we want to keep it fair, and I'm sure they do. I'm sure everybody does. But like you said yesterday, Guitarist, actions speak louder than words. These actions speak way louder than the words that I've heard from their side. So what am I to do at that point?
One of the actions that they did yesterday was they used the guild invite exploit to fully stack the roster full of 70 people for the Boonstone War against us. I like 100% confirmation against that.
I will say this though, like if we are talking about the integrity of whatever guild, yeah, I do agree with. Yeah, I do agree with Soviet. Like, you're not like, if you do pay attention to world chat, you're never gonna see our guys actually talking shit. Like Soviet said, maybe a couple. I've never seen anyone.
If they do, I get a DM from one of our alliance members, and I reach out to that person immediately, and I said, yeah, I don't care. I know it's been hard. Like, you're getting run down on conflict bosses. They're talking a lot of shit. You want to lash out. We ain't doing that shit. All right? It's just gonna stop. You can banter here and there, but like taking it to like extreme levels of toxicity, it doesn't make people enjoy this game. And like Tiger was saying, I mean, they got people leaving fucking Nisa because of it. You know what I mean? Not everybody, but anyways.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't like casting the first stone because there is no guild that has full integrity. I'm gonna keep it 100.
That's fair.
Like nobody
How do the other guys feel? Like, we got, I'm just curious. Like, I haven't really had any communication with like the Apes guys or Fable. You know what I mean? Like, how do you guys feel about all this? Like, what's going on in our server? You know, I mean, you can speak openly. Do you hate us? Do you not hate us? Or, what's your guys' stance on all this that's going on?
I think it's a good competition for most of us here, but
yeah.
It doesn't really matter too much to us. We're just here to brawl and shit. I mean, Saiga knows for sure that we always just come to brawl, but.
Yeah, Anubis is, I mean, we've been through a lot. I mean, we started off with the Excelsior Alliance, it was a shit show. And then we came over here and started the Fable Alliance, and the guy who was running the Fable Alliance, I mean, now he's on Magna trying to start a Fable Alliance over there. It was just extremely toxic. So I don't fault any of you guys wanting to come over here thinking, you check it out. You're like, oh, there's like 2 big alliances here, but the Fable Alliance was never in a severe point of strength for very long because it had too much internal drama, and eventually, we had to exit that group. And so, we had we really enjoyed Zeroth in the beginning. We came from Amos here to get away from Excelsior when we broke apart. And we had some friends here that couldn't transfer to Amos, so we came here just so that we could all be together and start something new. The Codex Alliance was in existence, but this server did not have much of a presence of Korean vets. Everybody was pretty new to the game. I mean, every guild had their Korean vet core, but like for the most part, there wasn't like raffle stomp guilds. So we actually we really loved our server. It was healthy, a lot of activity, a lot of PvP. And then last minute, when all you guys came over, there was bitterness. I mean, I don't think it's a personal thing, right? Like, it's just more of like, we loved our server, and now our server got destroyed. We were #1, ready to defend the castle, playing against other guilds that were also not Korean vets. And now we're like wondering if we could even put together alliance to pillage points. That's why you saw a lot of guilds transfer off the server. I don't hold that bitterness because I understand how these games work, and I think a lot of my guys are past that now. What we're trying to do now is just hope, like, we want to stay on Zeroth and we want to get better. But we're just trying to have the most fun that we can, and it's been really hard to recruit, and it's been really hard to like put together alliances because we got knocked off the top 10 slot. So that's kind of where we're at.
So I'd like to just correct you right there, like, just so you're aware, our alliance has, like, throughout the whole alliance has less than 20 KR vets, if I had to estimate. Like, it's not, the amount of KR vets that we had is nowhere near it. Like,
well, let me correct myself. I wasn't trying to imply that you all were Korea vets. What I'm saying is we had like a pretty healthy server. Ethereum came over for a minute. We all kind of unified against them. They left. They got bored. And then everybody came over. It was just, it was more about the mass of numbers that came over. We were trying to avoid large mega alliances and things like that, but I wasn't trying to imply that you guys are all like, Ethereum hardcore, like Korean vets. I was just trying to make the point that we had a server of a lot of non-Korean vets that had a healthy PvP balance between the alliances that were here. The skill gap is the skill gap is much larger now.
I just want to say one thing, and this is just me speaking. Again, everyone has their own opinions. Everyone has what they want out of Siege and stuff like that. But and I know you guys may think, like, after I say this, that it's easy to say from your position because you guys are defending the castle. But I really do mean what I'm about to say. If we weren't defending the castle, and if I was a guild, or if I like ran my own guild and I saw what was going on in World Chat, I would die first before helping an alliance like Rent Free and how they've shown their character. I would die first. I would do everything in my power to send my guys in, even if it was fucking cannon fodder, to stop them from getting the castle. That's me. What happens after siege, I don't know, and that's something probably for the health of the server that would be beneficial for like everybody to sit in a call and say, okay, let's see kind of like how these conflict bosses are panning out. So one guild brings 240, another guild brings 180. Me personally, I'll peel my guys back and say, let's keep these fights kind of even so it's a little bit more fun for the server, and a little bit more competitive. I'm pretty sure that would be what everyone wants. It's pretty hard to do since we're all kind of scattered in different discords and we all want different things, and this is kind of like the first time we're all talking about any of this shit. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to say that so you guys know where I stand on it all.
No, it's good. Like I said, like I told you last night, we talked about it for hours. What I really wanted is we do the whole defense thing, and you know, I'm trying to enlighten both Saiga and Cannon with this, but what if we have a fucking free-for-all just for funsies at the 10 to 15 minute mark? If things are, you know, continued they're pretty chill. Because that way, you get good PR where it was the complete bullshit we got from KR where it's like a fucking Mega Alliance versus the Watt Alliance. And you know how people are going to be toxic in your streams. But if they see like, oh shit, there's a fucking free-for-all towards the end, we already know, like, even with our alliances, as long as Renfri's not inside, you can definitely still defend the castle.
I can't speak for anyone. Like Renfri is going to get inside with like no matter what. Like it's going to be a big defense, and no matter what happens, there's going to be like, even if there is no alliance, even if like from the get-go, there's still going to be crap talk in all the streams. I'm just keeping it a buck, right? Like there's no way there's not going to be crap talk in the streams, like period.
Sorry guys, you could say it's vindictive or whatever it is, but the way these guys, I don't know if it's like directed towards you guys. The way I've seen it, like the hate and the shit talk happen towards my people, my alliance, I want to bury these fuckers, and I don't care if you guys hear it. That's the way I truly feel about it. Okay, I really do. If it was, and I explained this to Guitarist, if it was any of you guys, and you guys are also saying, hey, GG's only, win or lose, it was respectable, you guys are honorable men, and we have like good ass fights, you know what? Absolutely, I'm not. Let's do the 1v1 shit. You know what I mean? You guys deserve the castle. You guys deserve. You know what I mean? It's just the better man wins at that point. But the shit that I've seen from them, bro, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna speak plainly. I want to bury him.
No, I get that. I guess that's where I'm naive. I just mentally speak. I just don't want to repeat what I saw in KR. Like, it's just childish and immature when people just go into people's streams and shit, just start shit talking.
And like, yeah, and
I mean,
shit
it's
that
already
Cannon,
it already
where,
happens
when,
literally
like,
every day.
You know,
Cannon
the whole
isn't even.
Yeah.
Cannon isn't even like in leadership right now, and I'm sure it's still happening, right?
Like I said, I told you about this yesterday when we had the Riftstone War, when we beat Nisa 2 times in a row. When we won, GG's, no problem. When we lost, also from our side, GG's. When they lost those 2 times, not a single word from them. Not a single fucking word. When they won for the first time, it's pouring into streamers and just going, oh, nice fucking Boonstone, bro. And I get it, it's part of the game, bro. You're streaming, it is what it is, right? You're gonna have to deal with that banter, but right then and there, and even before then, I saw characters formed, and I saw, you know, kind of what was what. Not everybody, obviously. Like, I'm sure Nisa and all the alliances, they have good fucking people, as all guilds do, and other guilds also have their toxicity, like, within them as well. But the majority of what I see is coming from that alliance. And if you ask me, is that good for the server? I don't think so. I don't think so. So
I mean, I think that's the main thing out of this conversation is just that we all want what's best for the game, and we want to have fun fights on our server, and we don't want to fight on a dead server. Regardless, you know, the skill gap is bigger now, but like, we're having fun still. We just, as long as there's still fun to be had and we can grow. I mean, the thing is these servers are going to get merged at some point too, and we're going to have to fight Ethereum and all these other guilds too. My guys aren't going to learn playing against, you know, dead guilds. Like, they gotta fight.
Again, easy to say in my position, or, you know, because we're not winning that many conflict bosses right now, so it's easy for me to say this. But if I was in that position and one of you guys reached out and we're like, hey, do you guys mind setting something up where it's more even? 100% I would. Maybe Lukek would too, right? I'm not gonna say that he wouldn't. He maybe is a decent, nice guy, but again, if you're saying that you're a decent, nice guy, if you're reaching out to Canon, if you're reaching out to other leaders, if you're reaching out and saying shit like, you know, hey, like being all nice and stuff like that, but it doesn't reflect in how your alliance is acting in game, I have to question you. I have to question your character.
Well, I mean, after this whole conversation, I'm just glad we pretty much cleared the air. It sounds like where everyone's pretty much in agreement with what they want to do at this point. Like, I just wanted everyone to just kind of pitch their whole thing, basically have everyone accountable. Everyone said their two pieces. Saiga's the same as I met him. Cannon's the same as I met him.
I'm not gonna get. I'm gonna respect you guys either way it goes. If you guys choose to defend or to attack, you guys have your own people to kind of to kind of not protect, but you know what I mean. You got your own communities. You have your own things that you want to do. It's no harm, no foul type stuff. So.
But here's hold on. It's like if you guys are serious about wanting to have an even fight though, so if you guys are serious about wanting to have an even fight, I think it's fine whether you choose to attack or defend, but letting our side know what you decide to do ahead of time would be that courtesy. Because if you decide to attack, then it's literally two alliances versus ours. We need to
No, yeah.
you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, the only thing that I would say is if whatever you guys do decide to do, if you guys let us know or let Soviet and this side know, then we can make our arrangements. Because like, dude, like we're streamers, right? Like realistically, if I wanted to Zerg the server, I could do that, right? Like I could bring in, we can get like 1,000 fucking people. I mean, the later the more difficult to do that, right? But like that's all. Like we just need to know like what's happening, because like our side, we've tried to stay as like fair and you know, like Cherno became Cherno for a reason, right? Like I was very involved in that. Like I tried my best to try and create a server wherever like there was a lot of different, we had like 7 alliances. It was crazy before Ethereum came in, right? So it's like on our end, we're trying to do our best to keep it fair regardless of what narratives are out there, and I feel like our actions have kind of shown that.
I want to just comment on top of that. I know you guys probably heard the narratives on Cherno and maybe at the beginning of this server where Tank has like 7 guilds and stuff like that, and maybe it was perpetuated by Rent Free's alliance. And I want to be clear that what those 7 guilds were, and I mentioned this to the guitarist yesterday, was Nurj and Bedge, who brought maybe 10 people to the fights. In fact, that might be overestimating. I never saw them, and it was Fable Odin at the time, that was led by Dawn, who also barely, you know, they didn't really bring numbers to the fights. So yes, on paper, everyone was saying 7 guilds, they're ruining the server, but ultimately, and this is true, all the fights, because I was there at all of them, it was genuinely us 4 versus them 4, with like whatever, you know, side skirmishes are going on, or if it was like a 4v4, v3 or something like that. And this kept getting perpetuated that we have a 7 guild alliance, but the 3 extra guilds brought maybe a total of 15 to 18 members who literally you fucking flash your high beams on in your car and they just fucking lay horizontal on the ground, for lack of a better term. So I just want you guys to know that, and that's the truth of it.
No, you're good. Like, so like I don't think much. Like, I know Deimos and Mischief are 100% on board with the defense and whatever's left of Rebellion, and I'm pretty sure the rest of us too. We just wanted to come to an understanding of what's going on, really. Like, I don't see why. I mean, like I told you before, Ken. Like, my guild is neutral, despite everything.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't feed into that, none of that negative bullshit. So I just know that the only 2 people that really want to know what's going on is just Bulldog and his guys, and I'm sure they'd be fine with defending too, as long as we're on the same page. You know, like we'll cover a lane. We'll fight whatever's on that side, and you don't have to look over your shoulder. But we just needed to make sure what was going on, and clear up basically all the lies and the twisted narratives that are floating around. That's all, because I hate that.
Yeah, I sound like a broken record, but if Lukek ever reached out, if any of this stuff got solved earlier, I would have been more amicable to like making it kind of like, you know what, let's do it for the server of having like 4 on defense, 4 on attack. Hell, maybe even 5 on attack, and then another alliance on the side attacking as well. But I just the shit that I've seen from them, man, I don't trust them, and I'd rather protect my guys on a defense to ensure that they don't get the castle, because however you guys want to, they don't deserve it. You guys, I haven't heard shit from you. You guys deserve the castle. I wouldn't mind if you guys had a big alliance and we were clashing and butting heads at conflicts, and it was good and it was GGs and it was firm handshakes and it was just like, because that's just unfair to you guys. I don't give a fuck about these rent-free guys. I don't. For the shit that they've shown on our server, towards my guys, towards probably other people too. Fuck all that.
Me chiming in real quick, the server was better a week ago, without a doubt. Because like obviously like Eyes leading our alliance, obviously some people decide to dip out, unfortunately. But server's in a better spot because they would have actually been like 1v1v1 before the whole narrative about like who's working together with what. Which was really unfortunate, but definitely caused damage to the server as a whole. So.
Just to add on top of that, the reason, guys, just so you guys know, like the reason why that is because the reality is that's the way this game is designed. It's a competitive guild. Like the reality is every single person from our alliance, including Soviet, they want to win. Like that's it. It's like this is the first fucking castle. Everyone from Loot Kick's side, they want to win the castle, right? Like it's literally as simple as that. If you are a smaller alliance where you know you're out of the running, then you want to be a part of the picture, you want a good fight. But the reality is every guild or alliance that has a chance to win the castle, you have to just assume they are going to do whatever it takes to win said castle. We saw it happen in KR. You know what I mean? We saw it happen every time on the hyper boosting servers. It's always that. So like it's great that like, you know, it's all like just trying to be like, hey, let's make even fights and all this stuff, you know, like it's great. Of course it would be great in a perfect world, but the reality is no alliance can trust any other alliance when it comes to like trying to do a fair fight, you know, like you have to assume whatever alliance is just going to do what it takes to win.
Here's the way I kind of see it, and I trust you guys that you would keep it fair on the attack, 1v1v1. Here's what I foresee from their side, is if they see you guys as a 4-man alliance in a clump kind of pushing the castle, they'll go, you know what? They'll kind of pseudo soft alliance it, or go, you know what? Let's wait. Let's let them fight, and then when they're weak and their CDs are down, we'll push in. That also is not a 1v1v1. Or, hey, let's wait and we'll go off to the side here and push this right now. And you know what? I don't fucking put it past them. I really don't. And so, yeah, maybe it's shitty that like I want like more guilds to defend, but it's only because of what I've seen from these. Yeah, it's only because what I've seen from these guys. I've talked to you guys. You guys have reached out. I've never had not one GM or officer from their alliance reach out to even talk about, hey, what are we thinking about Siege? How does this look like? So I like, forgive me, but I just don't trust them. And I almost believe that they would do the pseudo fucking like soft alliance, even if they don't reach out to you guys. Maybe that is why he said he doesn't mind if you attack or defend, because he'll just wait it out.
Oh yeah, I can keep it 100. We talked about that before, because like I said, I've talked to everybody. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it because I like full transparency. But I told them I'm having a meeting today, and whether we decide it, if I'm gonna defend, I'm gonna go full hardcore defense. Because one thing about me, I'm a broken record, but I'm a man of my word. And that's what we're gonna do. And I already talked to my guys. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up right now. I already voted with my guys. We had a meeting earlier, and they all said they're fine with defense. We'll take like pillage 5 if everyone's cool with that, basically. But that's just kind of where we went for our vote. But I wanted to make sure that everyone here just got rid of all the like any issues that they had in advance. And if we're gonna defend, you don't have to worry. Like we already talked about it. We're gonna put 2 guys stay right there, and everyone's gonna jump over the wall. That's basically for what my meeting had with my guys. I can't speak for everyone else. I still wanted to talk to Bulldog and Sharka and all the other people in my alliance, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Also, another thing that just to add on to this whole like this whole narrative with the war is like Soviet is right. It would be foolish of us to trust anything that they do, and we have to assume that they're gonna do like, for example, right? Even if you guys defend with us, who's to say that they don't have other guilds that may even transfer in for them, or have other guilds that they've reached out to try and do certain things, right? Like you have to assume that they've set all of those things up. one thing that I find is really funny because like this kind of goes back to like the whole character thing that Soviet was talking about. Like we've been super transparent with everything with what we've done. Like even Guitar, you're asking me about like the whole guild ranking thing, right? And I mean I told you straight up, I was like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna be rearranging our roster because unfortunately it sucks, but that's what it is. But like like and that's what we did, right? And what's funny is I think we ended up only swapping like somewhere between 8 to 11 people total. What's funny is like that John guy from Rent Free, dude, he came to my stream talking shit. He was like talking shit in world chat and in DMs saying that we're cheating, which I understand. Like some people didn't like that and looked at it as an exploit. But what was funny is that he went on that like whole like it was just a huge bitch fest saying that and calling me out on my stream. And then they actually transferred 10 plus people, swapped 10 plus people before we ever even did. You know what I mean? So like that's like it's actions like that that make it seem like from our perspective that they're just
kind of
shady.
where
It's
our
like
head's
for
at,
us,
though.
Yeah, that's
we've
shady.
always
Like,
right,
bro,
like
I'm sorry. Like,
like
I'm sorry.
we've always been very like everything that we've said we were gonna do, we've done, right? Like we've admitted to everything that we've done. We've been very transparent, but like that is kind of like that's the reason why like in the middle, like I'm sitting in the middle, I'm trying to give Luke the benefit of the doubt, but everyone on my alliance is like don't trust him because of shit like that, because like they're coming into our streams and all this stuff, calling us cheaters and saying that we're abusing the system, and then they're the fucking ones that do it first, and they do it more than us. You know what I mean? It's like it's shit like that where we're just like, okay, that's cringe as fuck, man. Like,
I'd just like to point out that John literally messaged like every single streamer and every single officer with that message as well, saying,
so bad.
"Oh
Like,
my God, we're cheating and everything." Like,
yeah, I have a screenshot of a guitarist. Like it literally to the point where I
Crazy.
even told Lukek, and Lukek said, "Yeah, sorry about that. We dealt with him." You know what I mean? So it's like Lukek. I don't know if he's a good guy or not. He seemed like a good guy. He either is a good guy and he's trying to contain it because he has a toxic guild, or he's playing kind of like the double agent too. I don't know, but like the actions that they have, it's like it is. I don't blame my guild and alliance for not trusting them.
Look,
know?
you can hear it from me. If like any of you guys streamed and I ever caught wind of any of my alliance members or any of my guild members going into your stream and just ruthlessly being just vile and to the point where like it makes that person like, you know what, I want to step away from this. I don't like this is just like too much. Like that kind of attack, they would be fucking gone. Like in an instant, gone from this fucking community, gone from this guild. That's not how you foster like just good faith among even the competitive like sure this game's competitive and it's gonna have its banter, but like that shit doesn't fly. I mean, come on. I haven't seen one, not even a reach out. Hey dude, sorry about all that happened. I dealt with it. I talked to my guys. That shit's not gonna fly anymore. That's not cool what happened. Not a fucking thing. In fact, I don't even know if it might even be perpetuated in there. But so anyways, I sound like a broken record. I'm doing everything I can. I want to fucking bury these fuckers, okay? I don't care who hears it.
So let me also speak on this, guitarist, just because. So how do you feel about the exploit of that they did to transfer not Tankage but
Well,
Nissa?
the thing is, I had my strong ass opinions at the beginning because I saw Cannon's group doing it, I saw Renfree's group doing it, I saw Ethereum do it, I saw it, and at that point, it becomes like a broken, just repeatable record of everyone just doing the same.
Which one are you? I think you guys are talking about different things.
There's the guild.
I'm talking about the guild cooldown exploit, yeah.
Guild cooldown exploit, transferred, stack a guild. I mean, any way around it, you can say it didn't. It's not happening, but it is. I mean, but like,
I mean, I can assure you right now that we have never done that to participate in a GVG like some of these other guilds have.
No, but we're not talking about GVG. Just using it in general. You still use it.
Yeah, use it in general. I mean, so now that you say that, why did you guys use it against our GVG?
Oh, well, why we used it on your GVG?
Uh-huh.
Oh, because like at a certain point, when it came to everything coming to light, I was just like, you know what? All the other guilds are doing it. It's been like 4 weeks of other guilds doing it. So
That's
I said,
the first time we did it, because the thing is you can't even
What is this?
participate in GVGs anymore if you
Oh,
don't.
can't.
What
You
is
can't.
it? Can someone
it's
cut-
stacking 70
Yeah.
people in your
I'll
guild
DM
who
you,
are
Ken.
online.
It's what Renfree gets.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why we lost that
So-
siege, Cannon.
So
'Cause they,
it's still, we're talking about transparency, we're talking about honesty, but that doesn't show transparency.
No,
Doing that for a GVG,
nor does it show fairness, because you guys are, like guitarists are here, want to talk about being fair and like
making the siege fair, but you're not even making GVGs fair, nor is rent free. So
right, the problem is though is, and I agree with you, Cosmo. Like we both hate it, but the problem is that we've been trying to play NBA and street ball for like weeks now, and we're getting pushed out of GVGs and other content because other guilds are abusing it. So we have to play street
But
ball.
we didn't do it against Match. We took the L.
Hold up. Let Kevin speak. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's just like if I were to mediate this, right? Okay, so this is kind of goes into the guild ranking thing too. I can't say that our guild has never done this for a GVG. We did it for guild ranking period, which I feel like is a little bit of a different thing because like what we did is we had people leave, wait the 36-hour cooldown, and then bring people in from our other alliances. I feel like this is a little bit different from like, oh, there's a GVG, we want to stack 70 people so we have a chance to win this. But regardless, both are ways to try and min-max your roster, right? So I get that. I get the correlation there. But when it comes to like this GVG thing specifically, I don't think there should be any banter in regards to this because for guitarists, if the meta in every top competitive guild is doing this, you do become kind of forced to doing this yourself until NC Soft and AGS fix it. It's up to them to fix it. But at the same time, like if it is about transparency, right? Like if you're gonna do it, you got to be open and honest about doing it. And number two, if you don't want to do it to each other, like let's say your guild guitarist and your guild purple chicken, I'm not sure what guild you're from, sorry, but like if we have this conversation, Damos, okay, so like if we're all in here under agreement with a talk, which is what I set up in Cherno, by the way, then it's like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing it, right? Because now it's different because it's not like two entities or two guilds that don't know each other and don't communicate. You know what I mean? Because like if we don't know who Trauma is and we don't have any relationship with them, with no comms with them, we have to assume they are going to do what they can to the best of their ability to come out and perform at the highest level. This is exactly what our perspective is with Siege, right? It's like we can't trust Rent Free to not do whatever it takes to win.
I'll never trust him.
Yeah. So like, I don't know if you guys could maybe like, I don't know how you guys feel about it. For me, listening to you guys talk about this in the middle, it's like, unless you guys had a conversation about this, like we're doing now in a Discord, I don't blame guitarists for doing that just because that's like what a lot of top guilds are doing. Because if you don't do it, it's like, what are you going to do? 15 people down and lose? You know what I mean? Like, again, that's an issue with Throne. Like nobody wants to lose. So like, I think that's the whole reason why we're all in this Discord, right? We're in this Discord, so we don't have to do shit like that with that guild stacking cringe shit. We don't have to do that if we're all under agreement saying like, hey, this is what's going to be a better experience for everyone. Why don't we do this again? And we did this on Cherno. That's why we never had issues on Cherno.
I mean, I can tell you that Trauma Unit and Anubis, we both fucking hate the system that it needs to be fixed by the game.
I mean, I heard maintenance is gonna fix it, but I don't know.
We just got tired of going into situations where we were getting shut out by like 70 stack rosters. In terms of the history of Fable, we had tried to schedule some like fair fights with Odin and stuff, and that wasn't happening.
I'll talk to AGS and try to push that.
Yeah. But moving forward, right? Like moving forward, if we know it's one of the guilds in here, we will reach out and we will try to make sure that that's fair, because we had like that was the first time that happened. That Cosmo, the one that you're bringing up, that was the very first time that it happened, because we spent the last few weeks having to deal with it, and we're just like, fuck it. If these guilds are wanting to work with us, we try to work with others.
Being fully transparent, it's not like Deimos did nothing to alter our roster. We obviously had people offering themselves as mercenaries because, the whole like time change, and then, that was also that wasn't voting day, but like the whole time change and everything. But like at the end of the day, like it's just.
But there's also a lot of history between.
I know you want to win.
We don't have to get into, and so after we're already getting the cold shoulder from Odin about trying to fight fair, like why would we assume?
No one reached out to us.
Why would I reach out to you after you got me banned from Fable?
Okay, dude.
No, Cosmo, that you guys have your own beef. That right there. I don't want to bring that up. I agree with you with the transparency part, but like I told you, and the same thing I say with Canon, I agree. I didn't want to do it, but realistically speaking, after I got screenshots of other guilds doing it in Xerox, but that's a whole different conversation. Full side one-on-one. But you're not wrong for saying that, and I agree with you completely. But the thing is, reality is, other guilds are already doing it, so we just said, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna do it. Do we like it?
No, people were doing
we
that.
were not the first.
I mean, that's what Nisa did to us, Cannon. That's how they won the stone.
That's exactly how
Wait.
Yeah, I think Smash did it to us too, but I mean,
look,
it didn't really matter.
We talked
Smash
about this
doesn't.
yesterday. You guys said when I brought it up that Anubis and you guys didn't do it.
No. That's not what I said. I have basically I have proof that of the conversation that we had, so we can definitely talk about that. But we didn't do the activity to get to the top of the rankings. That's not important to us. Like all we want to do is semantics. But I hear you.
Yeah, so
I mean, we pretty much had what we had to say. Ultimately, like I said before, it seems like everyone's already in agreement that nobody wants Renfrey to win. Is that what I'm hearing basically from everyone?
I don't know how you guys feel. I'll be the first to say it. I don't. The way they carry themselves, the way their alliance carry themselves, the way their leadership just doesn't rein anything in, and that's not the marks of like leadership to me. I don't feel that they deserve a win. They deserve to win this castle because I promise you, any of us win the castle, it's not going to be ego inflated like if they win the castle. That I promise you. If somehow they won it, you probably will never hear the end of it on this server, and the amount of shit talk and like and boast that would come just putting people down, which is probably just part of the game, but it just would be tenfold compared to anyone in this Discord right now winning Siege, and that's my honest belief. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
No, I mean, I already told you what we said. Like, my guild made a vote. It was, for me, I don't really make the decision. I just let my people decide, because to me, I already had my wins in KR. This is literally just what we were supposed to just have fun on the server, and then it became the throne in Game of Thrones Liberty that it always seems to be happening every time you play this game. I mean,
Yeah.
we hear from other people. Like, how do you guys feel? Like, no one's really said if you guys are for defending so far.
Don't feel like legitimately like you say like I want to attack, like screw you guys. It's not gonna hurt anybody's feelings. Like I just if that's how you guys feel, you guys, you know what I mean? Like you're all.
I think for at least Anubis, like we don't care as long as we're killing people. Like it doesn't matter what name is above them.
Our game plan was just to hunt Odin, but now that they're not here, we'll help with whatever.
Same for Apes. We just didn't want it to be like a 12v4 or something like that. But as long as we're just out here fighting, doesn't matter with who for us. It's just just doing it. So we just didn't want to make it like that 12v4 kind of alliance where I get it, people don't like Renfrey or whatever, but it's still not. It's not fun for anyone to be in that situation, to be honest. To be winning or losing.
No, we can go bubble bath.
Being in a 12.
No, mommy's pregnant.
Whatever, how many guild alliance versus 4, it's just not.
We'll do bubble bath.
As long as we're fighting, like
we'll do bubble bath. Here, let's get ready to put your lights up.
I mean, that's 3 people. So that's my group, Sharkus group, and Apes. I guess the only person you're really missing is just Bulldog, because I know Rebellion, Deimos, and Mischief are pretty much on board, right? Because I don't want you guys going back on your word and saying you want to attack at the last second,
What do you mean attack at the last second?
No, I'm just saying, like, in general, for the people here, we're all in agreement. We got witnesses of everyone saying they're going to be cool with helping defend the castle.
Yeah, our position has not changed at all.
Our position hasn't changed the minute we signed up for it.
All right, well, there's your answer, Soviet. What do you think?
I mean, bro, it's not. It's like legitimately whatever you guys want to do. It's just you guys. I told you guys my side of it, and the way that I've seen from there. Like I have my own thoughts on these guys, and yeah, I hear it's not fun for anybody to be 12v forward, and that's a little bit too much. But sorry, man, fuck these guys. Like I can talk about diplomacy afterwards. Of like, let's make this a healthy server. It ain't gonna be a healthy server with these fuckers.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be with anybody. I mean, I hear the other guilds just take care from another server, EPH on another server, and I guess it looks like it's rent free for this server. So
how is it that the only people that have reached out are like you guys, like these alliances? How is it that we've all talked to guild leadership from like every every guild. Maybe I know you've talked to Lukek, but have you guys had any interactions with the rent-free dudes, like
No,
or their
not at
alliances? Have
all.
you talked to Helium? Have you talked? You know what I'm saying? Like how is that? Never, not a single reach out, not a
Yeah,
single
that just
like.
goes down to like the ego thing too. So
Yes,
yeah, no, I
but
hear you.
like that's what I mean is I know I respect your opinion of saying like not 12v4, and I would never wish that upon anybody. But this like the shit that they've shown, I'm sorry, but 36v4, bury these fuckers. I say that loosely, but you get where I'm kind of coming from.
But like here's the thing, like regardless of the bad blood and what you think of them, again, like just listen to me when I'm saying this, guys. And I know people like Guitar and Schoolgirl and these guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Anything can happen, and you have to assume they are doing whatever the fuck they can to win, even breaking whatever. It happened in KR. Remember what literally took an entire 4 guild alliance from us the day before Siege, like that. Like it would be foolish of any alliance that's trying to win to not do whatever they can to win, because that is the common denominator for both alliances, for all alliances on all servers. That common denominator being that they want to win. You know what I mean? Like I like knowing them, they are more concerned about what they need to do to win rather than trying to have this nice, fair, fun fight. Like I'm convinced of it. We literally saw it in every siege in KR. Do you think it's going to be different this time? You know what I
No,
mean?
not at all.
It's not. It's not. Like they could fucking
just
show
wanna
up with
point out-
another 8 guild, like 4 guild alliance come siege. You never know, man. You don't. You never know.
I just want to point out that they did transfer in another guild, right? Rather than
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm
is
saying.
done
That's
for
what
the
I'm
day
saying.
or whatever, instead of recruiting one
Like,
of
reach
these
out to
guys
any of you. Like yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Instead of reaching out to anyone here and saying like, hey, do you want to set up like a good alliance for Siege? That didn't happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought that Rebellion was actually going to be the 4th slot, and it was just kind of crazy when his alliance kind of broke apart. That sucks for you because you guys had a strong alliance.
Yep, I don't know why people decide to dip out, especially since we were helping Onion and Apes, but I guess people make their decisions for whatever reason, and it is what it is, so. Obviously, I could have reached out to Rent Free and, like, worked with them. We were obviously bringing 60 plus people to fights. We have good shot callers, good people, but it is what it is, so.
Well, again, I'm not gonna hold any bad blood. I respect each and one of you that you even had the just set aside the time to even have the conversation. It shows a lot more character than anything else. So whatever you guys decide to do, whether it's attack us or help us, it doesn't matter. You're all solid cats. If we meet on the battlefield and we're having a brawl, whatever. It is what it is. But at least we had the talk.
Yeah, no, we're good. I mean, like I said, I don't think we need to keep beating the horse down. I mean, we pretty much all are all in agreement. So we could just wrap up this conversation. I'm pretty sure everyone has something to do after this. I know.
Yeah, I gotta go have some dinner, man. I'm fucking starving.
I'm fucking starving too. I'm gonna get some In-N-Out. But everyone's good to go. I mean, any closing thoughts? Thanks. I mean, for me, it's just thanks for everyone for showing up. And Cosmo,
appreciate your time.
We have our conversation on the side because you do deserve an apology for that one for sure.
I just want to make very clear, this is like literally the first time I'm hearing about any of this. I'm not involved in any of this, so good luck.
You're good,
I'm
brother. You're
hoping
good,
we have
brother.
good fun.
It just hearing your voice will help other people in
Yes.
my guild, like I have my own advisors, and basically everyone else that's in my alliance. It basically makes it easier on me to be like, look, see, he's not what people paint him out to be. It's not the narrative. That's basically why I pretty much wanted you in here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy. I mean, yeah, I heard you wanted me to be in here and be a part of the conversation, so I'm happy to join. Soviet's been leading the guild on our side, and it looks like people on our side are having fun. But yeah, Siege is a whole nother beast. You know what's gonna happen, so.
Nah, yeah, we're
It is
good.
what
I
it
just
is.
like I said, I just wanted to kill that narrative of the streamer hate because I hate that shit.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
just
boys.
stupid.
I appreciate the talk, and thanks for having
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Well, have
GG,
a good night, guys.
Catch you guys later.
GG's, y'all.
See you guys.
GG's.
I guess.